I'm Mel,
And I'm Andrea.
and we've been asking ourselves, WTF? Where's the fun?
So, welcome to our podcast for heart-led business leaders, entrepreneurs, and CEOs ready for more. More impact, more wealth, more joy, and more magic, all while having even more fun than ever before.
As co-founders of FunX, we believe that life and business is way more fulfilling when you're following the fun.
So we're flipping the script on success, giving you permission to create from a whole new paradigm where you can have a lasting impact while nurturing your well-being and having a freaking blast along the way.
So join us each week for engaging solo episodes
and real conversations with experts who are embodying this new paradigm of leadership, spiritual wealth, business growth, and of course, fun.
If you're ready to reignite your spark, make bold moves, and lead from a whole new energy,
let's jump in and have some fun.
Welcome back to WTF. Where's the fun? I'm Mel.
And I'm Andrea, and we're so excited for today's episode. So today's episode, the theme is reflection and celebration. And this time of year, I think, is fascinating. So if you're listening as this is coming out, it is around the new calendar year. So not necessarily a new energetic year, because that is more closer to the spring. But this is the transition from 2024 to 2025.
Yes.
And why I find this is such a fascinating time is because there's usually a mix of a lot going on, super busy energy, but then there's almost like this transition when then there's almost like this limbo energy.
Yeah.
And I personally love this time when it comes to going a little bit slower and reflecting and celebrating with you.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about what we tend to do. Well, you follow a 12-day thing called Epiphany, which we'll talk about. But let's talk about like how we actually spend our time reflecting. And we make it special. We usually do our New Year's pretty low key, pretty slow. We've been doing this for like what, 5-7 years now?
I think at least 7.
So what we tend to do is we make a beautiful dinner, get like a nice bottle of wine or champagne, and we sit and we reflect on the year. And we talk about our wins, and we talk about maybe some of the things that didn't really go our way, but we talk about how can we make ourselves better in those areas. And it's worked wonders for us. We absolutely love it. We get invited to New Year's parties all the time, and we say, nope, this is our like non-negotiable night of the year where the whole intention is reflecting.
Yeah. And I think what I love about it is that it's not pressure. There's no pressure to have to figure it out or do anything. Like, it really is about just getting to sit, going a little bit slower, having this delicious meal, and playing in the energy of going a little bit deeper as to what came up.
I think the best part for me is like we forget how much you do in a year. When you really distill it down and you say like, okay, back in January, this is where we were. And then you kind of get the snowball rolling effect, and it's crazy. You're like, holy shit, I did so much this year. And that gives you a sense of pride, first of all. And then what we tend to do is we reflect, we go through the whole year, our wins, everything. And then we say, okay, let's talk about 2025 now. And we start doing this like almost like possibilities night where we reflected, we learned, now we're co-creating, we're in possibilities, and it's such a fun night.
We're sleeping by like 9 p.m.
I was just going to say that. I was going to be like, and then we're in bed before 10.
And I think what I have learned just in kind of the way we've approached it, and everybody's different. So finding out what works well for you, because it doesn't make sense for everybody to be like, oh, that's going to be my day to do it. But the time, so you mentioned Epiphany. So I don't know where Epiphany started, but it has been, I'm thinking has been a long-standing tradition where it's between December 25th and I think it's 12 days. So whatever that means.
First week into
In
the new year.
Yeah, is it like
The last week of the
5th or 6th? I'd have to look. I haven't done it in a year. But each day you reflect on a simple question. And the simple question, each day has its own little prompt, and I actually might make up kind of my own version of this. So if you're listening and it's already past the 25th, you can still do it. But the whole intention is you're taking this time to actually go inward and to start to reflect on some of those key things. And we are not, or I'm not anyways, the type that's like, let's go into January and let's like, if anything, what I love to do is to go into January with the gratitude and the momentum of the things that we focused on in the reflection. Like that is such a different energy. But it does take some intention to actually.
It takes intention, but doing the Epiphany exercises don't take any time at all.
Literally takes us probably 3 minutes at night. Like it's like where I'm just making this up because I really don't know the questions. But one of the questions was around relationships. Like where has somebody shown you kindness in your life this year? Where's somewhere where maybe you showed somebody kindness in your life this year? And you can make up your own questions, or you can just figure out what are some different things that you can do to reflect during this time. I think the main point that I'm trying to share with Epiphany is that is such, even spiritually speaking, a powerful time for us to connect within. And feel into what is it that's coming through, what's most important. Me and you are so intentional with who we're hanging out with during that time. What is the energy that we're in? Even the foods that we're eating. I want to make sure that I feel connected with myself and you, and nature's always a big one for us. So taking time to actually do that.
Today's episode of WTF, Where's the Fun? Is sponsored by The Fun Experience, a curated mastermind for established business owners, entrepreneurs, and CEOs ready for more. More magic, more joy, more wealth, and more fun than ever before. So if you're ready for a peer-to-peer mastermind that's helping you to embody more leadership, more impact, and make bold moves, The Fun Experience is where it's at.
Another reason I think it's important to actually, and we know this as high-performing people, why it's important to reflect, and even celebrate, but I don't think we give ourselves enough credit because it's like we could,
like they say people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. And that is why I love reflecting on the year, because it's like, holy shit, where we were to where we are now is insane.
And it's also a shift, I think, in how you measure that reflection. So I remember this was years ago, with one of our coaches, Dr. Lee Janelle, and we worked with her for like 5 years, maybe even more. And it was every 6 months we would do almost like this reflection exercise, and we'd have to share where we're at, like based on our goals. And you would do it on a scale of 1 to 10. And Mel and I were like, we're like a 5. We're stuff.
Yeah, and they were a 4.
And she's like, are you kidding me? It's like, you've done this, and she helped us see, okay, actually, we were probably like an 8.5, but based on our new standard of where we want it to be, we were putting ourselves
in a pit
so far down that I think as high performers, we're doing that because we want to continually get better and better and better. And it's actually to our detriment, because now we're doing it because it's almost like we're not good enough, or there's such a big gap. We need to push, or I don't even know. It's not the right energy, opposed to I'm so proud of how many steps I took and lessons I've learned and celebrations that I have. And then from that energy to be like, I'm going to continue to build on that momentum. That is such a different energy than, oh, I'm a 5 out of 10, where in reality, we're like maybe an 8.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing on New Year's. So nobody come over. But we'll be spending our time reflecting and then getting into possibilities for 2025.
Yeah. So what could that look like for you if you were to create your own? And it could be simple. It could be maybe 5 minutes. You wake up, you have a delicious cup of tea or coffee, and you just take 5 minutes to feel into. And that's the important part.
Yeah.
Is it's it's one thing to say it from your head. It's another thing to actually feel it. I love speaking it out loud. So even if I was saying it to myself, like speaking it out loud helps me to connect with it.
Mhm.
If you feel connected to journaling, journal it.
Yeah.
If you feel
Or even just having like a conversation with a good friend.
totally
Yeah.
being able to share it, I think is even more powerful.
Yes.
And creating some spaciousness around this time for you to actually connect inwardly can be that simple, and it can be that fun, and you're going to go into 2025 with even more gratitude.
Yeah.
So that is our wish for you, is that you enter the new year. I know it's not the new energetic year, but the new
Okay.
year with even more love, gratitude, and excitement for what's to come.
Thanks for listening to WTF. Where's the fun?
We're Andrea and Mel, and we're so excited to be on this journey with you to see how fun it can get.
If today's episode brought a little bit more fun into your world, be sure to subscribe, share with a friend, and leave us a review.
And remember, life and business is so much better when you're following the fun. So let's have some fun.